So, are you DTFF?
Once again, here's Drinking and Talking Fantasy Football with your host, Jake Trowbridge and Dustin Lunt.
Hey, welcome back to DTFF, everybody. Sorry for the blundered intro, especially to our esteemed guests that thought they were coming on a real show this week. Now they've seen behind the curtain and know that, Jake and I are just faking it here. But yeah, as you can see, we've got a panel-filled show this evening. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to be playing a little bit of trivia this evening. Jake is going to be taking over the emceeing from me this evening. I'll get a nice break here for my voice, but you'll also be able to see how bad at fantasy football trivia I actually am, since I never seem to win on this show, but that's okay. So Jake, with that, I'm going to pass it over to you, and I'm just going to sit back and have some fun.
Oh my goodness, that's so much pressure that you've thrust upon me so suddenly.
Well, thrusting is
really
what I do best.
Oh, God dang it. Walked right into it. Well, I'm excited to do this because it's been a while since we've had some guests on, I will say. It's been a while since we've had some fine folks on here to help take some of the weight off of this shenanigan we call a podcast, but we have three pretty great ones tonight, I must say myself. We have the one and only Joey Wright. We have the one and only Hoove Tube, and we also have the one and only Toronto Dave. There are no multiples here tonight. What is up, gentlemen?
Feeling great. Happy to be
Who's
here.
going first? Who's going first? All right.
I think Dave went
TD?
first.
Joey?
Yeah, I'm happy to be here. I'm excited to hang out, and just you guys are all beautiful. Humbled. This is great.
You guys are so sweet to each other. Who's going second?
Before the show, I flipped them all off.
Damn
So,
time. Oh, all right, that makes me three. So, it's about damn time to bring forth the rhythm and the rhyme. I'm gonna get mine, so get yours. I want to see sweat coming out your pores. So come on, let's do it. Let's win some trivia tonight. How you doing? It's your boy Who.
I love that.
I'm feeling it tonight. I'm
Can we
feeling it. Maybe
change
there's
that
something in this tea. I don't know.
to our intro music? Can we just make that the new intro music from this point forward? I would very much appreciate that. All right, I do want to get into this thing. God, I love you all so much. All right, so anybody who wasn't here with us last year, this is like an annual thing for us. That's really all that we do it. If you want to see the better version of this, you should check out Front Yard Fantasy. They happen to do this thing well. We just do this thing. But we're going to do it tonight anyways. The concept, very simple. It's trivia. It's like your favorite pub night thing, maybe. I don't know. Maybe your favorite pub night is actually the rodeo. We don't have that, but we do have trivia. We're going to be doing 10 multiple choice questions. I did tell these gentlemen to come prepared for trivia with a pen and pad, and I definitely told them that more than 2 minutes before we went on air. But we will be talking about the 2023 football season in particular. I'm not even going to go further back than 2023 because why bother? And B, my memory can't manage that. So we will be sticking to 2023. 10 multiple choice questions to kick us off. And then we'll be wrapping this thing up with a lightning round.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be nice. And we'll talk about some actual fantasy stats in between to try to leverage this thing out. But gentlemen, before we do that, if you want to share what you're drinking, I want to start, actually. I have this delightful, it's from 903 Brewing. It is a chocolate peanut butter Rice Krispie Cream ale. That's a lot of things in that ale, and it's delicious. Delicious. Dustin, are you still wrapping up your keg?
No, you know what? I actually did what I said I was going to do, and I bottled the rest of that today. So that keg is now empty, but I am on vacation mode this week, so I am drinking G&Ts this evening.
Okay.
Look at that. Well, Hoove, I know you have something in that glass. Is it truly just tea?
It's truly just tea. I need something to calm my throat. We're gonna have a great show tonight, but if my throat gets a little hoarse, then we can't have a good time. So we're gonna have a little warm tea to start out the evening, and then later on, let's see what we throw in there. Okay, how you doing?
That is a consummate professional voice man right there. Joey, Dave, you got anything that you want to talk about in that way? If not, you can talk about it.
Yeah, no. I know Dave, because he watches the FYF show, knows I only ever drink coffee on shows, and that's what I have in here. Is there anything with the coffee? That's up to you to figure out, but it's just coffee tonight.
Oh, I hope it's a dark roast, though.
A little rum chata.
So I have Gatorade Zero over there, orange, and but it's just observing over there right now.
You're an orange man. I would have pegged you for a blue blast from a mile away. Man,
blue is very good. Orange is a childhood flavor that will never go away.
Mystic Mountain Blueberry.
You know, you think you know somebody, and then they come up with this orange Gatorade stuff. It's just wild. Welcome everybody into the chat, by the way. Tootsie Pop, welcome in. The party can start now. That Tootsie Pop is here. That is absolutely true. Andrew, welcome in. Let's play the game. You're right, Andrew. I agree with Andrew. Let's start the game. You gentlemen, get your pens ready or writing utensils ready. It is question number 1 coming through here. Which quarterback in 2023 led the league in passing yards per game? Heavy emphasis on the per game. Is that A, Kirky Cousins? Is that B, Joseph Flacco? Is that C, Jake Browning? Or is that D, CJ Stroud? Again, we are looking for per game passing yards here. Please keep your eyes out of the chat, gentlemen, if you don't mind. Not necessarily saying that everybody in the chat is going to be right, but just in case they are, I don't want any.
I have you full screen. Like anytime you're ever on my screen, Dustin and Jake, full screen.
I appreciate you. See, you know, Scamper's in the chat. Good evening to you.
My favorite chat.
Maria said, I told Joey how we asked her to be on tonight. She had to say no once that she found out you were being invited on, Joey. So I told her not to air that out in public, but she decided to anyways. So
that's harsh.
Hi, Maria. I miss you. I actually got to meet Maria like back in October. It was pretty great. She's very wonderful. True, like there's this like thing that happens in the fantasy industry where the analysts outkick their coverage with their spouses, and JL like 100% outkicked his coverage big time, like so much. I wish she was on the show more and JL wasn't. So, she would probably pick on me more though, like hands down.
Oh, that is phenomenal.
I love it.
All right, gentlemen, are we ready to show our answers? Get ready to hold them up to your screens.
I'm ready.
I numbered 1 through 10, like a student.
It's fine. Whatever. Just make my job more difficult, Joey. I don't care. On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Show yourselves. All right. We have Kirk Cousins. We have CJ Stroud, and we have Kirk Cousins. We have 3 for Kirk. We have 1 for Stroud. Unfortunately, there are no points to be had because it was Mr. Joe Flacco with 323 yards per game. None of you went after Jake Browning. I thought maybe I'd get somebody with Jake Browning.
Do I get extra points for forming mine in the form of a question?
No.
Like Jeopardy? No?
Sorry. What is no?
Okay.
You do not get that. All right, let's move on. Actually, before we move on, I am very curious. So these names are not happenstance that showed up here. A couple of these guys truly deserve to be up here. Flacco, Stroud, Cousins, all very high in passing yards per game. Jake Browning was kind of the wild goose chase there. From a CJ Stroud perspective, I want to ask you, Joey, do you believe that CJ Stroud is going to be the same type of guy next year?
Next year, I'm glad you said next year. I do. I think he's right now a top 5 quarterback for me. What I saw last year coming straight out of the gates impressed me greatly. I was so wrong on him. I said coming into the league, like, CJ Stroud was my favorite quarterback, worst landing spot. He is not going to be able to do anything in Houston for at least a couple seasons. I was so wrong on that. Tank Dell stepped up to the plate. Nico Collins. I love everything they're putting together there in Houston. I think CJ Stroud will have a great season next year and then on.
And then the sky's the damn limit. I tend to agree with you. I just wanted somebody to validate me. That's honestly what I was thrown
I'll validate
into there.
you.
All right. I don't want to dwell on these ones too much. Let's move on to question number 2. Let's see if we can get some points on the board. If you want, gentlemen, I don't know. It's up to you. It's not up to me. Question number 2. Which quarterback led the league in total interceptions? Is that A, Josh Allen, B, Baker Mayfield, C, Sam Howell, or D, Jalen Hurts? Again, this is total interceptions, not interceptions per game. I want to make that distinction because I'm taking you on a wild ride with the phrasing of these questions.
I just realized I could just do 4 pieces of paper with A,
ready.
B, C, and D and just hold. Okay, that's what I'm going to do.
That's actually, I mean, talk about an innovator.
Oh,
Yeah, well,
We've got one, folks.
That's what I'm here for.
We have an innovator on the podcast. I'm going to make a note of that I'm going to forget for next time to just tell people to do that. And maybe I'll do it more than 5 minutes into the show for next time. But by the way, Richard Sickles, welcome into the chat, says Brett Favre. Brett Favre is not an option for this. He is not an option.
he still could, though, I think.
Yes.
That's not out of the realm of possibilities.
In his private time, he may have thrown more interceptions than anybody else on this list. That is fair to say. All right, gentlemen, does anybody need more time?
No. Oh, wait. What was?
I think I'm good.
Yeah.
Do it. All right, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Show yourselves.
Oh,
We've
no.
got 1 for Josh Allen. We've got 1 for Sam Howell, another for Sam Howell, and another for Josh Allen. We have 2 Joshes, 2 Sams. The Sams have it. The Sams are correct on this one. That's right. So I apologize,
board, baby.
Dustin, to you. I understand why you said Josh Allen.
Yeah.
That's why I put Josh Allen into this list, to be feisty. Dave, I am curious. Sam Howell, he doesn't get to throw that number of interceptions for the same team, at least this coming year, because he did get traded to the Seahawks. Do you have any interest whatsoever in Sam Howell with the Seahawks this year?
A little bit, because I don't. It's more that I also don't have full faith in Geno as well. If they had a locked-in high-level starter, then yeah, I'd be more worried. But I do like Geno, so I'm not discrediting him. But I don't have much faith in Sam Howell. He'll throw too many interceptions to be.
You can take the interceptions out of Washington, but you can't take the Washington interceptions out of the guy or something like that.
Respect that.
Keep working on it.
I see where you're going, and I'll take it.
Nobody took the bait on Baker Mayfield, by the way, and I'm a little bit disappointed about that. Hoove, do you just really have too much confidence in Baker? You knew there was no chance he did this?
Honestly, like, I just didn't think that there was a way that you could right now. Like, I didn't think that the NFC South defenses were good enough for Baker to do that. So I think I'm good. I think I knew that Josh Allen. I knew that Sam Howell at one point. I knew Sam Howell and I knew Josh Allen at one point were leading the league in interceptions, and I knew Jalen Hurts wasn't up. He was up there, definitely more than Brock Purdy, but I didn't think he was leading the league by any means. So it was processed by elimination. I was 50-50 wrong.
You eliminated correctly in part of the way, in that you got 2 of the wrong answers out.
That's right. I'm 0 for 2.
To give you some all right. I believe you're going to get on the board, Dustin. I believe you're going to get on the board with this one too.
Oh, I appreciate that.
I don't think that's me just having too much confidence either. So we are still sticking with quarterbacks for now, but which quarterback? We're also going to stay in the negative land. Which quarterback had the highest sack percentage, not total sacks, but rate of sacks, meaning sacks per dropback, essentially. Is that A, Justin Fields, B, Daniel Jones, C, Zach Wilson, or D, Tommy DeVito? Again, we are looking for sack percentage, not total sack. Am I saying sack too much?
I don't know why Joey's laughing. I keep looking at Joey.
No,
Joey's laughing.
so I'm doing this thing where I'm trying to figure out how to play the game, and I don't know if I figured it out yet.
You're
This
trying to get
question
in
will tell
Jake's
me a
head, and I
lot.
don't know if you
I
can do
am.
that.
Yeah,
I still haven't after all these years.
I'm elusive. No
I
getting
got
in
it.
here. No getting in here. All right. Once again, for the folks at home, which quarterback had the highest sack percentage? Is that A, Justin Fields, B, Daniel Jones, C, Zach Wilson, or D, Tommy DeVito? Looks like we're all ready to present ourselves. 1, 2, 3. Show yourselves. We've got a Justin Fields, a Daniel Jones, another Fields, and another Daniel Jones. Oh my goodness. You're all wrong. It's Tommy DeVito, baby.
it's the Giants.
Tough, man. That's tough. Oh, for
Tommy
3.
Put 2
DeVito.
Giants on there.
Which I again try not to be too much of a dick, but sometimes it comes out. But this should give you at least some indication of what was happening in New York. So Tommy DeVito, 17.2% sack percentage. Atrocious. Absolutely garbage. Daniel Jones, 15.8% sack percentage. I have a feeling it's the line. Dustin, does this give any credence to the idea that sacks are not a quarterback stat? Do you feel like this vindicates that one way or the other? Is it just these two quarterbacks just being garbage, or was it the O-line?
I think it's yes and no to hedge my answer here, because there is something to say about the offensive line. Like you got to be able to give your quarterback time more than about a second and a half to be able to survey the field and throw the ball. But also part of this too is this quarterback's holding onto the ball too often. If your wide receivers can't get open, yeah, they're going to hold onto the ball. They're going to get sacked. So I think it's a little of both.
Joey, how much of this was a lack of Darren Waller on the field? Huh? How many percentage points does Darren Waller shave off this thing?
Not much. I don't. Yeah, Darren Waller doesn't move the needle for me as far as the line goes.
I think it's more of a Evan Neal was on the field issue than Darren Waller wasn't on the field.
No.
Respect. Dave, can I get you to say that you'll draft Darren Waller inside the top 10 rounds next year just for me? Will you give into that peer pressure?
Top 8 rounds.
Yes. Thank you. That's really all I needed to hear. Kevin Murray, welcome in. Look at this lineup. God, we are good.
I thought I had a good jacket on, but Kevin just knocked me off the screen.
I also apparently am a fly, and you have 6. I don't know what it means, but it's provocative and it gets the people going.
Karate Kid, Mr. Miyagi.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
You know?
Do I get to be Mr. Miyagi then in this?
Well, no, he very clearly said you're the fly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Reading is hard. I have too much.
I'm going Cobra Kai.
All right,
And I'm
next
coming
question.
back.
Next question. Let's get some points. All right, Dustin Hoop, I believe in you. I really do. This is going to happen. This is a joint question. This is a 2-parter that you have to guess. Who threw and who caught the longest pass of the 2023 season? We're looking for quarterback and receiver here. A, was it Mason Rudolph to George Pickens? Was it B, Josh Allen to Khalil Shakir? Was it C, Dak Prescott to CeeDee Lamb? Or was it D, Russ the Bus Wilson to Marvin Mims? We need the thrower and catcher of this damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
Scamper says I'm
This
very
is
elusive.
okay. All right. I got it. Here we go.
I believe that you do. I believe that you all have this correct. Okay.
Oh man, now I'm worried.
I know.
I thought I did, but now I don't.
I think you all did it. Everybody be ready to prove Jake wrong on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Show yourself.
D.
We've got one for D for Dustin. We've got another for D. We've got another D. We've got another D. You all did guess the same answer, but you were all fucking wrong. You were every single one of you wrong.
That's tough, man.
My goodness. I really wanted it to be Russell Wilson and Marvin Mims, if that makes anybody feel better, but it's actually Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb for a 92-yarder.
That's so tough. That is tough. Yeah. That was processed by elimination. I was holding on to C for a while. I'm like, let's let Russ cook.
Maybe this time next year we'll be talking about Russell Wilson to George Pickens. And maybe could happen. Russell and Marvin actually had the lowest of this group. I do seriously want to ask about the Russell Wilson and George Pickens potential, though. Who do you really think next year we could see like the next, I don't want to say great quarterback wide receiver pairing, but is it going to be respectable, Russ and Pickens?
I don't necessarily think that a lot of it's going to be on Pickens. Pickens as a receiver, like a lot of it is, he just has a certain style that you have to gravitate around him, and I don't know if the Steelers are gonna operate that way. I think that no matter who that they draft or bring in via trade, like Pittsburgh is just like wide receiver like they can just pump out awesome wide receivers. So I'm not worried. I could see a rookie coming in. I could see like a Ricky Purcell or like someone in the second, third round going into Pittsburgh and highly producing and taking away from Pickens. So is he going to be fantasy relevant? Of course, but I don't know if he reaches the ceiling that everyone thinks he could this year.
Yeah, that is a genuine worry. I also worry about George Pickens and just his like whole vibes thing merging with Russell Wilson's vibes, but that's probably overthinking it. Yes, Dustin, we do not tolerate Marvin Mims slander on this show, by the way. Marvin Mims is a saint in here. Dave, I want to ask you about Dak Prescott. I just saw news before we hopped on here. Dak Prescott, apparently negotiations have stalled out with old Jerry Jones. I want to ask you, if Dak doesn't play for the Cowboys this year or next year or whatever, is there an ideal landing spot for Dak Prescott for you? Like, what team would you like to see him on if it's not the Cowboys?
That's a great question. I don't have an answer. Back to the Cowboys would be my answer, but that's not the question. I'm trying to think. What would be the most ridiculous landing spot? And that would be my vote for the chaos and entertainment.
So you're saying send him to Green Bay. All right.
Done.
Loud and clear.
Absolutely. Right. You read my mind.
Well, we still have two of you folks not on the board. I don't mean to rub it in. I just wanted to provide the update to the folks playing along. We are currently sitting tied at the top with Joey and Dave. But again, I believe in you guys. You're going to do this in question 5. This is where we come storming back. We're moving on to running backs. Maybe this is going to help. Which running back handled 100% of his own team's rushing attempts inside the 5-yard line? Which running back got the call every time they were sniffing at the end zone here? Was it A, Saquon Barkley, B, Joe Mixon, C, Josh Jacobs, or D, Derrick Henry? This is not a solid.
This is a fantastic question.
Thank you.
I'm seeing through it this time. Okay.
Are you?
I'm seeing through it.
I think you're right. If you all guess the same incorrect answer again, I'm going to flip over this table. I'm going to do it.
I hope we do it just to see that.
I'm going to do the rest of it from my phone on the porch if that happens. All right. Does everybody have their answer locked and loaded?
I think so.
Yeah.
All right. 1, 2, 3. Show yourselves. All right. We've got Dustin with C. We've got a B, Joe Mixon. We've got a King Henry, and we've got a Joe Mixon. So some overlap here. The only answer not guessed was the right answer.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Really?
Oh my God.
Saquon Barkley, 100% of his team's rushing attempts. To be fair, that was only 6 rushing attempts in total. That's as much as they got inside the 5-yard line and handed it off. He did get 4 touchdowns out of it. Joe Mixon was next up on the list. So the two of you
Okay.
who had Joe, he had 81, almost 82%. And then it was Derrick Henry. And then it was Josh Jacobs with a low 50%. I brought these guys in besides the correct guy because they all changed teams. Everybody moved, just circled one spot over. So Dustin, out of this group, and try not to let your homerism get in the way too much on this one. Which is your favorite of the switcheroos amongst these running backs?
I think I bounce between Saquon and Derrick Henry. I mean, Derrick Henry seems like a perfect fit for that offense, but I think as far as scoring points, I think it's going to be Saquon. The more that I've had time to think about that landing spot, the more I like it. You have to think they just lost their center to retirement. So this whole tush push thing is not going to be as big a deal as it normally is. They're going to have to rely on their running back a little bit more to get those short yardage attempts. That's why they went out and got Saquon Barkley, a guy that can do it. So I'm going to say Saquon.
I like that. Joey, do you agree, disagree? Is there somebody else that trips your trigger there?
I 100% agree with Dustin and all his points. The workload that he can get in Philadelphia, it's not going to be a split backfield like it was the last few years of Philadelphia. If you've got Saquon Barkley, if he's healthy, best running back on the field, and that's going to take some of the pressure off of Jalen Hurts to let him develop the rest of his game downfield, and they want to rely on him to fall into the end zone for 1 yard every time. So yeah, I like Saquon Barkley the most out of this group here.
Well, we've got two of you choosing the correct answer now. I wonder if Dave believes the same. Would you go with Saquon? Is there somebody else that sticks out?
Well, as the only Wisconsin resident, I'm going Josh Jacobs out of loyalty. So that's just me personally. So that's my answer, Josh Jacobs.
I believe you, and I believe it had nothing to do with trying to appeal to the host of the show. Who can you make this interesting? Who do you think here?
Just kind of like looking at their values in general, I view Barkley kind of like Swift plus based off of last year. Jacobs being like a Gibbs plus. The Lions, Henry would be Montgomery plus, and then Mixon would be Singletary plus. So like just looking at what they could all produce in their offenses, Texans, you could see some sophomore regression from that whole squad, from CJ Stroud, Tank Dell. So Joe Mixon really interests me. I don't know if I would take him over Josh Jacobs right now. Josh Jacobs really interests me too, but one of those two. I think I'm leaning more away from Barkley and Henry than most people. They can take him in the second round. I'll take Jacobs and Mixon in the third.
Sometimes you just got to get interesting. By the way, who Richard says the answer's on the screen. You just have to see it.
That's right.
Dustin in the chat said it's always a good thing to agree with anyone named Dustin. I mean, I'm sure one person on the screen agrees with that. All right, let's move on here to question 6. I swear I wasn't trying to stump anybody with these, but I also am glad that I don't have to answer any of these questions. All right, question number 6. I'm giving you the answer at first. I need the second answer. So CMC led the league in scrimmage yard, right? Plus receiving. Who was just behind him in the number 2 spot? Was that A, CeeDee Lamb, B, Breece Hall, C, Rashad White, or D, Puka Nacua in second place in rushing plus receiving yards? I have an exasperated Joey on this one already. That can't be good. Are you regretting agreeing to do this?
I'm always at a battle in my own mind. And once again, just happy to be here, but battling with myself.
I respect it. I respect it so much. All right. It looks like everybody is comfortable and ready to roll. So we're going to do this thing. 1, 2, 3. Show yourselves. We have a CD, a CD, a CD, and a Puka. Ooh, does the cheese stand alone on this one? Puka Nacua, 1,575 scrimmage yards. CeeDee Lamb, 1,862 scrimmage yards. It is CeeDee Lamb just behind CMC.
Finally.
Dustin raises his hands in triumph at getting
I think
on
I'm just going to
board.
drop out of the show right now. Just let me have my one right answer.
At least you have one.
Fair. I very much respect everybody for going for a wide receiver on this. I think a lot of times you hear scrimmage yards. I was trying to be a tricky little devil on this one with the running backs, and you didn't bite on that aspect of it, so I appreciate it. All right. The only question I really want to know out of this one, if I could just get a yes or no from everybody. Rachaad White, top 10 running back next year. What do we think?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah?
No.
Ooh, we are split. I'd say we should do a beer bet on it, but there's nobody less I'd probably rather initiate a beer bet for than Rachaad White at this point, so let's not do that. All right, question number 7, folks.
Okay. Turn it around.
You're gonna
Turn
do
the
this.
game around.
Which running back did not score at least 10 touchdowns that is rushing plus receiving? Which running back did not score at least 10 touchdowns? Perfect Borat imitation. Very timely, very relevant, by the way. Thank you.
Very nice.
That's-
It's very nice. It's crazy sexy time. I'm gonna look through your treasures, Gypsy. Is this understood?
Can we make this the rest of the show? Can we just stop with the trivia at this point?
This
No,
If
they
you
are-
do this
no, they-
long enough, I'm going to give you a point regardless. Who?
No, they all come from the house. Whose treasures did you steal, Gypsy? I see. This is my sister. Oh, I can't do that one. That's too bad. Not.
All right, do the not have it
All right.
at this stage.
Keep going. Okay.
Do
let's
the
do
not
it.
have it. I didn't even read
Not.
through the answers. I'm so sorry. I'm such a bad question answer here. The answers, or the possible answers, are A, Raheem Mostert, B, James Cook, C, Devin Achane, and D, Gus the Bus Edwards. Again, we are looking for not double-digit touchdowns. Which of these fellas stands alone? Are we ready to go, gentlemen?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, show yourselves. We have A, B, we have B, we have D. Guess what? The two James Cookians have it correct.
Damn,
Joey
man.
and
Yes.
Dave. James Cook with a paltry 6 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Somehow. Don't
representing.
understand. Now, once again, I thought I would get some fooling in here with the Mostert and Achane business. Is that why you got fooled? Is that why you got fooled, Dustin? Was that
That's
it?
why I got fooled.
Okay. Thank you for admitting that. I do want to talk about Devin Achane, though, which is Dustin's drinking buddy from last year. Many props to you once again for that call out. Achane on this list, despite only playing a handful of games. So, Hoove, Achane, can we get on board drafting him in the first 2 rounds in redraft this coming year?
I think that the closer I get to draft day, you could probably convince me in Achane. But right now, I don't know how many Dolphins other than Tyreek Hill I'm really interested in. You know, Tua at ADP probably, but I haven't looked at Achane's price yet. So that's really big for him. Because, you know, like we only saw a sample size last year. So can he repeat? I'm not sure. But he's interesting, to say the least.
That's fair. I'm going to stretch it 1 round down. Dave, in the first 3 rounds, would you draft Devin Achane? Let's say full PPR.
Yes, the switch from 2 to 3 completely swayed me, and I'm being serious. Yes, we're in, baby.
Beautiful, beautiful. Joey, you on board? Top 3 rounds? You into that?
Hard.
Yeah,
Wayne.
the 2-3 turn. I was waiting for that. I'm happy to take Achane at the 2-3 turn.
Dustin,
around
you
there.
back in on your guy this year?
We all concur.
Yes. Yes. The concurs have it. All right, we're moving on. We're getting into the interesting part of this thing here. It is still anybody's game. I mean that sincerely. Question number 8. Again, I'm giving you part of the answer here. Tyreek Hill tied with which player for the most receiving touchdowns in total last season? So Tyreek Hill had the highest number. One other fella had the highest number along with him. Was that fella A, Devontae Adams, B, Travis Kelce, C, Mike Evans, or D, CeeDee Lamb? Devontae, Trav, Mike, and CeeDee. Who stands out to you fellas? Is anybody else getting uncomfortable with how often CeeDee Lamb is showing up in this quiz in general? I honest to God just realized that just now. That's on me.
I like dependable and constant things in my life, so seeing his name on here this much just brings me comfort.
Hopefully, I will continue that comfort in the next two questions. I honestly don't know. Is everybody ready to give their answers for this one? All right. 1, 2, 3. Show yourselves. We've got a CeeDee Lamb. We've got a Mike Evans. We've got a CeeDee Lamb. And we've got a CeeDee Lamb. 3 CDs and a Mike. Wouldn't you know it? Yeah. The fan of Tampa Bay has the correct answer with Mike Evans, 13 touchdowns along with Tyreek. It was just that kind of season. How good did that feel when you got the blurb that he re-signed, Joey? What did that feel like?
I put the jersey on, like the creamsicle Evans jersey. I was so excited. He's my favorite NFL player of all time. I was in a sports bar with my best buddies the night he was drafted. I'm so excited he's back in Tampa for at least 1 more or 2 more years. I guess the contract is for Hall of Fame wide receiver, without a doubt.
Heck yes. Heck yes. Can I ask you, Dave, which of these 4 would you rather draft first next year out of this list?
CD.
Yeah.
CD, baby.
Yeah. He's going to be like, what, a top? Do we think top 8 guy for sure?
Overall?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe top 5.
Let's get him there. Let's get him there. Dustin, Travis Kelce, just yay or nay? Let's do it.
Yay.
Let's be wrong again.
Well, I'm not going to bet against him, so I refuse. Until he retires, I'm always going to be pro Travis Kelce.
That's a good call. I think I could learn a lesson from you on that. Probably on everything related to tight ends, if we're being honest. All right, gentlemen, the score to check in here, that is Joey 4, Dave 3, Dustin 1, and Hoove with an amazing Borat impression. So I think we're all pretty much even. All right, question number 9. Only 2 wide receivers had multiple 40-point PPR weeks. So multiple games with at least 40 PPR points. One of them was CeeDee Lamb, just for you, Joey. Who was the other? Was that A, Nico Collins, B, A.J. Brown, C, Justin Jefferson, or D, Keenan Allen? Multiple 40-plus point weeks in full PPR.
It's weird. I felt the most confident in this one, which means I'm going to be completely wrong.
I do feel like sometimes that's how it tracks. Yeah.
I'm not confident, so I am confident.
Yes. Dave, what's your confidence level on this one from a scale of 1 to 10?
6.9.
Nice.
God, what a reliable. Love you, Dave. All right, gentlemen, are we ready to give our answers here?
Yep.
1, 2, 3. You show yourselves. We have 1 for Nico Collins, another for Nico Collins, another for Nico Collins, and then and 1 diverting with Keenan Allen. Does the cheese finally stand alone in all of this? The cheese has it. It is Keenan Allen.
Good job.
Oh,
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you. Thank you.
Keenan.
Thank you. This cheese doesn't stink anymore. Good night.
Can we get a fact checker here?
Keenan Allen, 45.5 points in week 3, 40.5 points in week 10. Only played 13 games. Look, Hoove, I start with you because you got this one right. Keenan Allen, obviously he's playing on a different team this coming year. But what's the confidence level in this guy? I know he's getting up there in age, but what do you feel about him now?
I'm so glad that I got this one right because I'm so glad I get to answer this question. I've been itching away trying to wait for my moment to talk about it because I don't want to sound like I'm bashing him by any means, but I think I'm a little out on Keenan Allen more in the sense I don't think he's going to repeat top 10 or borderline top 10. Definitely wide receiver 2, but like what happened to when your wide receiver is over 30 transitioning to a new offense that there's going to be regression? Like I feel like that was a big talking point last season, and now Keenan Allen goes to the Bears and and now everyone's in love with him again. So like I understand Keenan Allen's one of the best route runners in the league. Like there's no reason to doubt him at this point like you would with a Julio Jones. But you also have to factor in that there is that possibility, and you also have DJ Moore, who was finished as wide receiver 6 in PPR and half PPR last year. So he's definitely going to be eaten. DeAndre Swift's going to be there. Like if they draft Caleb Williams, they draft another quarterback. Checkdowns are going to be a big thing in developing that quarterback. So DeAndre Swift's going to eat. I don't know if Keenan Allen can repeat the way that he did last year. So I'm glad I got to answer this. Not hating, just honest.
Appreciate that. It did pain me to hear you kind of compare him to Julio Jones, but not really. Just mentioning Julio Jones in that made my butthole tighten up a little bit. I do have to say that.
You know what I mean, though?
Dustin in the chat, though, wants to know, you brought up the great question with DJ Moore. So is it Keenan Allen or DJ Moore for us this year? If we are forced to choose just one, Dustin, I will start with you. Keenan Allen or DJ Moore?
Oh, I'm still going to have to go with Keenan Allen. I can't quit him. I love him.
That's fair. Joey?
I'll go DJ Moore. I think Keenan Allen's going to have to learn a new system. I know they're both going to be playing with a new quarterback, but I think DJ Moore has the leg up. And they had like the little friendly challenge for the race to 1,000 yards. But I love seeing that like narratives, like combative teammates, friendly competition. So I'll go DJ Moore.
That's excellent. Dave?
I'll go DJ Moore too.
You got 2 for DJ. I'm going to guess. Ooh, you're with the DJ Moore side.
And I'm going to go with DJ Moore, of course. So,
right.
Not hating.
Dustin, clip this out. Clip this part of the episode out and hold on to it just in case.
I'll do a beer bet with you, Dustin.
All right.
And I don't drink beer,
do it.
So it'll be fun for me either way.
I'll get on that.
Marking it
All right,
down.
I love it.
Marking it down. Scampers is in on Keenan at cost. I am curious about what that cost will actually be by the time we get to redraft here. All right, we have one more multi-choice answer before we get into our lightning round. Again, still anybody's game here. I mean that truthfully. Question number 10. Yeah, we're doing it. We're talking about kickers. Deal with it. Which kicker attempted the most extra points in 2023?
Ooh.
Attempted. Doesn't mean they got the most, but they attempted the most. Oh. Is it A, Jason Sanders from Miami, B, Justin Tucker from Baltimore, C, Jake Moody from San Francisco, or D, Harrison Butker from Kansas City? And yes, I did put the cities there just so you guys didn't have to really think too hard about what kicker resides where.
It's just tough. This one's tough.
Met you halfway.
Because weren't some of these guys hurt at a point?
I don't recall if all of them played 17 games. I want to say they all played at least 15 games, however, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
So I don't think there's a significant fall off there. I only feel a little bad for ending this part of the game on a kicker question, by the way. Does anybody need more time for this one?
No.
No.
Okay. I'm good.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, gentlemen, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. You show yourselves. We have Jason Sanders, Jake Moody, and Jason Sanders. 2 for Jason, 2 for Jake's.
Come on, Dustin. Let's do it.
Let's do this.
The Jakes have it. Boom. Team Jake Moody with 61 attempts.
I should have known. He would have an answer with his own name as the correct answer.
Jake. I just really wanted to chant my name. Honestly, do you care? Do you guys look at what just team and do you go, how good is that team going to be? That's the kicker I'm going to draft. When you have to draft kickers, is that the idea still? I don't know.
Yeah.
Dave?
Yeah, that is my idea.
All right. Okay. I just wanted to make sure I'm not on an island with that. Okay. We're done with the singles. We're getting into the lightning round now. Okay. Just to explain how the lightning round works for you fine gentlemen, there is going to be one question. It's going to have multiple answers to it. We are going to go around in a circle. You are going to name the players one by one that fit this criteria. When you get it wrong, you're out. And we keep going around and around until all of the names have been said. You get a point for every name that you guess correct.
Okay.
So guess the easy ones first, is what I'm saying. Guess the easy ones first. Don't be bashful into that. We are going in reverse order of points. So once again, this is anybody's game. We are starting with Dustin. We are going to be going around, nope, this way, I guess, counterclockwise. Dustin, Hoove, Dave, Joey, so on and so forth.
That's easy.
So let me get the question pulled up for our lightning round. 12 players had at least 100 catches last season.
I have one question.
You
Sorry.
named them. What is your question, Joey?
Can I write names down on paper?
Oh, absolutely. Yes. You all feel free to utilize your utensils. Get your list aggregated. I'll give you plenty of time for this one as well.
All right.
And again, just want to say, make sure you give those easy ones first. You do not want to get it wrong and be out. And this is, when I say it's anybody's game, there's 12 points to be had here. Hypothetically, one of you could get all 12 if the rest of you just kind of fuck it up. I'm not advocating for somebody to fuck it up, but it could happen. It could happen.
Okay.
I want to check in with the chat over here, by the way. How is it going in the chat? Well, John says Joey came here to chew bubble gum and kick ass, and he all out of bubble gum.
That's one of my favorite movies. Thank you for that.
You got that.
All right.
Who have you got the cheese emoji from Scampers? I think that's about the highest compliment I've ever seen a cat give anyone. So
I'll take it. Especially from Scamps. So
the wrestling mat, Hoove and Joey, 5 stars. I think the wrestling mat meant to give all 5 of us 5 stars. I'm going to take umbrage with that.
That's
by the
my
way.
boy.
Where's my 5 stars at? Also, I want to say to anybody who's not watching this live on YouTube, you're missing just dynamite work for me in the art department. I switched the slides so it had a totally different tone to it. It's a little darker background. I put a lightning bolt on it. Feeling pretty proud.
That's dangerous.
It really is dangerous. I'm going to give you guys one more minute to kind of get your thoughts in order, and then we'll kind of start the process here. There's no rush. I'm not going to put a hard time limit on each answer here that you give, by the way. So don't worry. Not a full-on dick about it. Only a partial. I do have a tie-breaking question that I hope I have to use, by the way. Even if I don't,
I think you should say it just regardless at the end. Why save it?
Yeah, you're right. You only live once.
YOLO.
Thank you. Appreciate you. All right.
Okay.
We are going to start this thing here. And again, we're going in reverse order, starting with Dustin and then moving on to Hoove. So, Dustin, who is your first guess here for one of the 12 players who had at least 100 catches?
I'm going to say Puka.
Puka is correct.
Oh, thank God.
1 point for Dustin. We move on to Hoove. Puka's off the list. Who is one of the remaining 11 with at least 100 catches?
I'll take Amon-Ra St. Brown.
You will take him happily, and you will add a point onto your score, sir. Dave, one of the remaining 10 players with at least 100 catches.
CeeDee Lamb.
CeeDee Lamb. You knew he was going to show up here again, and you got him. That is one more for Dave.
Survey
Joey, you've got 9 all-stars left here to guess from.
Tyreek.
Yes, he is on this
I
list
was panicked
as
a little
well.
bit. Okay.
Tried to make it more exciting. Dustin, we've got 8 more left. Who you got?
Uh,
Interesting.
this does get interesting. AJ Brown.
AJ Brown is correct, sir.
Oh,
You add a point onto your list. Hoove, one of 7 left.
Oh man. All right, I'm gonna be Homer here. I'm gonna go with Christian McCaffrey. 100 dump offs.
Christian McCaffrey just missed the mark. He did not get quite 100 catches this last year. He was in the 90s. However,
Shooters gotta shoot.
You do gotta shoot. And you shot, damn it. And I respect the hell out of it. Dave, 7 remaining. Who do you got?
DJ Moore.
DJ Moore, unfortunately, did not get to 100 catches last season either. Joey, we move on to you. 7 left.
All right. Even though he kind of had a little bit of a down season, I'm still going to go Travis Kelce at 100 catches.
Can you believe Travis Kelce did not have 100 catches last year either?
Oh.
It's all on you, Dustin. There are 7 names left. How many of them
I still have
can
to
you
guess.
Get? You do.
How many am I going to get?
Because you only get a point per correct guess. You've got a way still to catch up.
Okay. Thank you for that.
I just want to set your expectations correctly.
I'm going to say Nico Collins.
Nico Collins did not have 100 catches last year either, unfortunately. You love this game. Don't pretend like you don't. The entire list here I will throw up on here. So we had CeeDee Lamb correct. Tyreek, Amon-Ra. Then there's Evan Ingram with over 100 catches. Michael Pittman did his thing. Keenan Allen, even though he only played 13 games, just a dynamo. Stephon Diggs managed it. AJ Brown, as you guessed. Puka. Devontae Adams still somehow got there this year. Adam Thielen. I'm convinced that was all in the first 6 games that Adam Thielen got his catches, by the way.
For sure.
And Jamar Chase also got
Jamar
there.
Chase got in there. Good job, Jamar Chase.
3 games where they just hyper-targeted him. Gentlemen, before I get to the winner's announcement here, I do want to ask, out of this list for next year, who are we drafting? Who are we preferring next year out of this list? I'm going to start with you, Hoove. Of these 12, who is the top guy for you?
I think Tyreek, just because you know what he could do. But Amon-Ra is right there with me. If I can be in the end of the first round, I can grab a Tyreek if he's there. Probably not based off production last year, but Amon-Ra probably definitely will be there. I think Amon-Ra, wherever you are in the first round, like if you're in the late first round, that's your guy. So Amon-Ra St. Brown will be my answer.
I love that. Dave, who out of this dirty dozen are you going after?
I'm going Hoove's first choice of Tyreek Hill. I'm going Tyreek Hill. I just think he's too explosive,
Don't want to bet against a guy. I've been wrong there too many times. Joey, who are you going with?
I hope I'm in a draft with Hoove and Dave at the 103 because I'm going to take Jamar Chase. I still think him and Joe Burrow are on the same page. And he's just kind of hanging down there in that last spot. So, yeah, I'm still in on Jamar Chase.
He's hanging like that hangy ball in the back of your throat, the uvula, I think they call that. Is that what that is? By the way, do you think T. Higgins gets traded to a team, Joey? Is that baked into your decision?
I don't think they're going to get on the same page, and I think he is going to head out to somewhere else.
Probably Patriots. Dustin, out of this group, who is your preference?
I gotta go with Tyreek. Close second for me would be CD.
Okay,
I love it. I'm actually Team Joey on this one. I am all in on Jamar Chase next year. I do think he's going to be a little bit not underrated, I guess, but yeah, he won't be at the top, tippy top. So, winners announcement: Joey 6 points, Dave so close with 5. Dustin 3, Hoove 2, and a dynamite Borat impression. I'm giving you an extra one for that, actually. Dustin and Hoove both have 3 points. And I'll tell you what, I want to use this tiebreaker question. So I'm going to make it worth 5 points because this is my game show.
Let's go.
So I don't have a card for this one, but which non-quarterback, if you want to write your answers down, fine. If you want to shout it out, fine. It doesn't matter to me. Which non-quarterback had a 100% interception rate? Meaning every time they threw a pass, they were picked off. This is a non-quarterback. So I'll narrow it down a little bit for you. You don't get to say Mac Jones, even though I know that's what you're all thinking. So I guess if you stretch the interpretation of non-quarterback, maybe you could still say that if you want. But non-quarterback, 100% interception rate on the season. It's one of those fun facts that I wanted to throw out on Twitter, but I didn't want anybody to read it. So... All right, gentlemen. Does everybody have their answer ready to go? Anybody need more time?
No, just do me last.
That's what she said? Okay.
Nice.
All right. Let's go in a circle here. I'm not going to say if you're right. I'll just read your answers so Dustin can get his time to go. Joey,
fine. I got an answer down. So if you want to be like that, you're going to rush me.
That is how I want to be. All right, everybody hold him up. Jake is handsome. 20 points. God, you were already winning. Derrick Henry, great question or great answer. Kendrick Bourne, CMC. Cooper Kupp is your real answer, Joey, but I'm going to take your first answer anyway.
Thank you.
It was actually Tyler Boyd. Tyler Boyd threw one pass. Okay. It was an interception. I love Tyler Boyd. I shouldn't have given him such a negative question to end this thing. I appreciate you guys all for being here, by the way, and letting me hurl my awful questions at you. I want to go around. If you have anything to promote, please promote it. If you just want to say hello to anybody, you say hello. Joey, we'll start with you to wrap this thing up.
Yeah, enough people follow me. Everyone go check out Casey Kasem's episode with Tootsie Pop today. I've only listened to like 20 minutes of it, but she is one of the greatest people in this space, and she deserves all of your attention, respect, follows, and love. So go give her some love.
1000% co-signed. Dave, what do you want to say to the folks?
Hi, Mom. I'm on TV.
Yes, Dustin, clip that out. Let's send that over for sure. Ooh, what do you got for the people?
All right, so I just wanted to jump on and promote. If you guys are heading to the expo this year, make sure you guys go ahead and buy your tickets to Draft Night Out. Draft Night Out tickets are available on the IBT website. We got 12 divisions. We are so excited to be back at the Brew Kettle again this year and doing so many drafts with so many giveaways and raffles. So make sure you go ahead, buy your tickets at the IBT website for Draft Night Out.
Absolutely love it. And I will be there with bells on, maybe literally. Dustin, you want to take us home here?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you once again to Joey, Dave, and Who for joining us. It was a pleasure to see you all again. Hopefully we get to see your lovely faces in person and you all get big hugs from me at the expo this summer again, because it was a goddamn joy hanging out with y'all last year. And let's have the good times roll. Let's be honest here. But no, big thanks for you guys for joining us. Jake, thanks for taking over as the MC for the episode. I like those nights where I can just sit back and look foolish. I know it doesn't take much, but yet again, pulled up the rear again for our trivia night. So thank you, Jake. And as always, folks, do what we always do, rate, review, subscribe, all that good stuff. Follow us. Follow all these fine gentlemen here on the screen. If you're not already there, great follows in their own individual rights. And let's be honest, much smarter in this space than I am. And with that note, we'll see you all next week.
Cheers up, peppers.